Yo, hello everyone, it's Amer here, and today's video is gonna be pretty much about the newest update for the first Descendant, or the update that includes the jiggle physics or dynamic motion. I already read through the update, so I will try to make it as fast as possible in explaining all the key points that you could expect from the patch notes. So for starters, the addition of the dynamic motion is gonna come with 3 presets: quick, medium, and strong. The default is gonna be medium. You can change it on options, gameplay, display settings. Um, they already showed a preview on this on their X profile by the first Descendant. So if you want to watch it, you can go to their official X profile to see it. Now, the first thing that we're going to talk about is the Mutant Cell slot. How does this work? Well, this will work by pretty much farming Sigma Sector. Once you complete every mission of Sigma Sector, you will have a chance to acquire a spoils box. You can see here, if you complete it in hard, you have a 5% chance of obtaining the box. And if you complete in normal, you have a 2.5% chance of getting the box. If you get the box, you can open it and you can select one of these, right? Now, how do you get them into your arc tuning? When you defeat the last boss in Sigma Sector, the last boss will drop fission accelerants and ARC genetic scissors. The fission accelerants are used to engrave the mutant cell in one of the arc tuning slots, right? You will require 100 fission accelerants to engrave one of these. You can override this with no cost, and this will be lost forever. So when you use one mutant cell slot or mutant cell, you can override it, no cost, but the one that has been overridden will be lost forever. Or you can extract this piece for 100 ARC genetic scissors, and this will be in your inventory again, so you can equip something in there without losing this. So that's pretty much how it's gonna work. So you're gonna go into Sigma Sector, you're gonna go kill the last boss. The last boss will drop two new materials, fission accelerants, and ARC genetic scissors. But we'll also have a chance to drop this pulse box, which contains the mutant cell. Also, keep in mind that the arc tuning pages have been reset for all players, so please check that out. Here is a list of all the mutant cells that have been added to the game. Honestly, I'm not going to read through all of these. It's pretty long, but there's some interesting ones that will increase the Descendant's skill power overall. Now, the director's comments is pretty much the director saying that they know that there's a gap between firearms damage and skill damage. Obviously, firearm being the OP one and skill power being a little bit weaker. So this is the first step into shortening the gap. And if everything goes right, they will add more mutant cells to give variety in our builds. For the intercept battle, they're adding the Ice Maiden. And what's important to note here is that when you destroy a piece of the Ice Maiden, your Descendant will get a buff, right? And they also increase the rewards, and I will explain this now. Here in the director's comments, what the director is mentioning is that they are aware that killing Colossus in 1 second is not the way they want the battles to be. So what they're doing is they are making the battles longer, not like super long, but they're like buffing the shields and the HP of the Ice Maiden. However, they are nerfing the scaling in group play. So they are buffing the Ice Maiden scaling in solo, but they are nerfing it in group play, right? This means that solo it will take a little bit longer than what we're used to right now, which is like what, like 3 to 15 seconds, depending on how you kill it and with which descendant you kill Tormentor. But yeah, they say that they're gonna, like, she's gonna be stronger than Tormentor, but she's gonna be weaker when it comes to group scaling. They're to to make this fair for the players. They're also buffing the rewards that we are being given. As you can see here, the module has been doubled, the external components have been doubled, and the quality certified ETA voucher just saw a huge increase, right? So that's pretty much what it's gonna be. They're trying to focus more on group play for the Colossus rather than solo, right? Which I like. I like that idea. We will have to see how it works on the game because on paper it is nice, but we'll see on the game. The recruit party system is pretty much just what it sounds. Is you can post your party on that system and advertise whatever activity you're trying to do. So nothing like crazy over here. Now the weapon change is pretty much about the multi-hit damage and the multi-hit chance stats. So what they're doing is that they added multi-hit chance and multi-hit damage to the weapon options, which is our weapon substats. If you've been like active on the Discord for the first Descendant, about 5 days ago, they asked for feedback on how to implement multi-hit chance and multi-hit damage cores to the game. They mentioned here in these comments that the most popular suggestion was to add them to the special augmentation core, but they felt it was more appropriate if they added them to the hit augmentations. The hit augmentation is the red core. But they also mentioned that if they did that, then the red core would have 5 options and it wouldn't feel as good to, keep rolling and rely on RNG. So they are adding a new core called Hit Augmentation AB core. This core will be used on the same slot as the red core. So they didn't add any new slot, they didn't add more weapon power, but you can replace the red core that we have now with this one. The hit augmentation AV core will include only multi-hit chance, multi-hit damage, and weak point damage. And the hit augmentation core without the AV will have the critical hit rate and critical hit damage and the weak point. This will be added on June 19 together with external component core update. But they will consider feedback once they proceed with the update. The leaderboard ranking reward means that for the speedrunners, if you are part of the top 100 players in solo rankings, you will receive here an Ingress Prime Challenger medal. So whenever like you rank above top 100, you will receive this special medal. It's nice for the speedrunners. So if you're one, you will now have a little bit of incentive to get a limited reward that no one will be able to get other than the top 100 players for the solo rankings. Now for the View Descendant feature, I know there was some negativity around this feature, and this feature is the one that allows you to peek into other players' character profiles, I guess. And what will this include? This includes the mastery rank, the platform, the current login zone, but this will only be displayed if you are on the same region as that player. The Descendant skin, the Descendant the player is using, the weapon, the reactor, and the external components, obviously with the modules applied to the weapon and the Descendant. And the customized screen type, I guess, it's going to include the mastery rank, the platform, the current login zone, the Descendant skin, the head skin, including the dye, the hair dye, and the body skin, which will also include the dye paint information. I know a lot of people were saying that this feature is gonna allow for more toxicity, but in my honest opinion, I don't think it will make a difference because, there will be elitist persons that are gonna go into your profile and check you and gonna be like, oh, you have a really bad build. I'm gonna block you or whatever, right? Sure, but if you're looking, because a lot of the player base of this game is like casual-ish, who's gonna really take 5 minutes of their time to load up your profile information, look whatever you are using for both your weapon and your descendant, and then exit all that screen information, go into the chat and type to you. No one. Like realistically, I don't think a lot of people would do that. So I don't think players have to worry about this. Like I said, there will be cases obviously where elitist people would actually use it to, I guess harass you in a way. But just pay no attention or exit the instance as fast as you finish killing the last boss. The core conversion is pretty much what it sounds. It will convert 3 cores of your desired um, core to one. So it's a little bit like expensive, but if you have some cores laying around and you want a specific one, you can now exchange them. So it means that we can now exchange all our useless purple cores into ones that we want. That's pretty much for it for the core conversion. For the inversion reinforcement, they are pretty much just adding inversion reinforcement preset. It will have 3 pages. So, and it will be also able to be used on the presets that we have already on the game. So nothing crazy here. It's just another set of presets that we can use for our descendants. And it will be reset every time the inversion reinforcements change. The special operations maps is just a change in the mission. Now it's Kingston, the Sterland, nothing big here. The shop, I'm not gonna read the shop, but they are releasing a new skin for the females, pretty much. Now the Albion Special Dispatch is the newest event. It's pretty much just a login event. It goes all the way up to 28 days, which is nice because it's pretty much gonna be all the way until season 3. So you don't want to miss this. You can go to the event page to see that, but they're giving some really nice rewards. And the last reward, if I'm not mistaken, is a Serena hair skin. So don't miss this. Please, it's really nice rewards. As far as the content improvements, the best one is this. Improve the grappling hook to penetrate other players without colliding with them. Because if you ever played this game and you are using the hook that hooks the air and someone jumps in front of you, you hook to the player and then you are like draw back. I don't know how to explain it. So it's really bad. Now they changed that. No more of that. Really nice. Now changes the drop rates to 100% for common, rare, ultimate, and transcendent modules in the meta ones for content completion. Affected content field missions with fragments, with fusion reactors, and bulbous strategic posts. So more drop rates, really nice. Now another change that this addition is when defeating Death Bride, Pyromaniac, or Swampwalker will spawn a reconstructed device at the location. This means that if you kill Swampwalker right now, or well, killed, it will spawn the reconstructed device like at a different location that you will need to walk. So now it spawns it in place. Really nice. For the Void Vessel, there are just nerfing for the normal mode. There's nothing like super crazy. They're also increasing the keys obtained in normal mode. So if you're running hard mode, there's not really like anything crazy here. They're also buffing the rewards for the material boxes and the rewards for the protein. As you can see here, they're almost going double. So if you want to level up your dog, it's gonna be faster. For Sigma Sector, they're also buffing the rewards, as you can see here. Now they're giving at least a 10k up to 20k quantum crystals, and now they're giving 10k up to 20k nano compounds. Added to have a low chance to obtain at least 100k to 200k of the nano compounds. So again, they're like buffing every single reward possible in the game. I guess it's really nice for new players or returning players. And this is just they are buffing the normal version of the missions of the dungeons, nothing crazy. Here, another good change. Increase the amount of voice abilities fragments that can be obtained by completing a 400% infiltration operation from 40 to 150. These void abyss fragments are the ones used for to craft the core unlock and the rerolls for the cores. So this is really nice. Um, Actually, this is really nice change. It's a really big change. Now, if you are spamming for 100%, you're gonna be getting some really nice rewards. For the special operations, they're increasing the quantum incubators. Nothing crazy. Now, Descendants added a maximum limit to additional firearm damage added a maximum limit to additional firearm damage proportional to max HP from the Redemption Judgment Serena. When Serena's max HP is 39k, the additional damage is increased to a maximum of 312. Above 39k, the additional damage is capped at 312. So this is not a nerf, from what I understanding. This just means that they are capping how much damage you can actually do with her force skill, and they are capping it at 39k HP. But I don't think you can get this high unless you fully stack HP like crazy. But it's not like optimal because you lose like cooldown and everything else. So it's not a nerf. They're just capping the power that you will get. Um, Improve the tooltip for the unique abilities of the ultimate weapons. Add the calculation method when displaying the unique ability effects of the ultimate weapons. Added medals. And yeah, and these are just bug fixes that I'm not gonna go into. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Really nice update, I guess. Honestly, looking forward to play it when the servers come up. And I will probably do a review of the state of the game once I get to play a little bit of the Mutant Cells in my Descendants. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.